This tutorial will show you how to create and edit Bridget's fully customizable web forms. Web forms are different from quick documents and offer a number of advantages. The patient medical history, feedback form, and NHS PR form are all examples of web forms. Web forms have a responsive layout so that they can resize and reflow for any screen size. So, when these documents are used with the patient web portal, your patients can use any computing device they choose to fill in these documents, including mobile phones, tablets, and laptops or PCs. First, I'll demonstrate how you can edit a web form by using the patient medical history as an example. To edit the medical history, navigate to Documents and then click Design Medical History Form. The current medical history template will be displayed. Here we can see the form on the right and the Properties panel on the left-hand side. At first you may think, can I just drag and drop text boxes and labels onto the form and then save it? But this isn't how the forms are designed, because as I mentioned before, these forms must be able to reflow and resize to allow for multiple screen sizes. So instead, forms are made up of rows and fields which determine how the form is rearranged when viewed on smaller screens and maintains the correct order of the elements. By hovering over the form, you will see that the row you are hovering over has a green border, and the field has a blue border. Clicking on a row or field selects it, and the selected row will be displayed with a green background, and the selected field will keep the blue border around it even when you're not hovering over it. You can rearrange the rows and fields on the form by clicking in an empty space on them, holding the mouse button and dragging the element to a new area on the form. You'll see it rearranged to show you the new location of the element as you are hovering. To drop the element in the new location, just let go of the mouse button. Selecting a row or field in the form shows you the particular properties of the selected elements in the Properties panel. When I select one of these rows that has a grey background, for example, you will see that the row background property under Row Actions shows the grey colour selected. If I click on the drop-down, I'm able to change the colour, and this will be applied to the row in the form. Don't worry if you think it hasn't updated. The only reason you aren't seeing the new row colour is because the row is still selected. If I select a different row, you will see my chosen colour was applied to the row. The same is true for fields. When I select a field, the corresponding field properties are shown at the bottom. I can amend any of these properties and they will be updated for this field on the form. We won't go through every property in this video, so experiment with the properties to see what effect they have on the rows and fields in your form. The changes will only be saved if you click Save or Save and Close on the menu, so you can practice and then close the designer without saving by clicking Abandon. When you select a heading or label field, you will notice that the text is highlighted. This is because you can directly edit this text. This is a shortcut for text content instead of using the content property on the Properties panel. If you try this on option group fields though, such as these yes or no questions, it won't allow you to do so, as these values are needed for other functions in the form, so edit these in the field properties as usual. Select the field and look at the bottom of the Properties panel under Input Options. You can alter each selectable option's text here. You can add new options by clicking the Add Option button and remove options that are already there by hovering over them and clicking the red cross that appears next to it. Now let's have a look at adding and deleting rows and fields. You have a few options when adding rows. You can add a blank row by clicking Add under Row Actions, which adds a new row to the bottom of the form. Or you can copy and paste an existing row. Select the row to copy, click Copy, and you'll see the row waiting to be pasted at the top of the form here. So now when you press Paste, it will be pasted below the currently selected row. There is also the option to add a signature row, which is a special row that has the patient's signature shown in it after it's been signed, but we already have one at the bottom of the form here. To delete a row, simply select the desired row on the form and click the Delete button under Row Actions in the Properties panel. and you'll see that the row was deleted. Now onto fields. All fields are contained within a row, so whenever we add a field, it's being added to the selected row. So first I select the row that I would like to add the field to, and then I can add a field. Under Add Field Types in the Properties panel again, there is a set of buttons representing different types of field. Clicking on one of these buttons adds the corresponding field type to the selected row. Let's run through the field types. A heading is for larger size text content. This is used in these section headings here. A label is the standard text field. It's used in all of these questions. A text input field is for the patient themselves to fill in. It looks like a box on the form and it will resize as the patient types. An option group field gives the patient some options to choose between, and they can only select one of those options. It's used in these yes or no questions here. The options are fully customizable, as I said earlier. A drop-down select field is similar to an option group field, but offers the options in a drop-down instead. Finally, we have a date select field. This is for requesting a date to be entered by the patient, and will show a calendar on their device when they click on it. Merge fields below allow us to merge data from the patient record into the form when it is generated from the template. So there's no need to ask the patient to fill in their name and address on the medical history, for example. Just place a full name merge field and an address merge field, and Bridget will fill it in from the patient record automatically. Just like with rows, fields can also be copied and pasted. Just select the desired field, click Copy, and we have the preview shown here, and then Paste adds it to the end of our selected row. And of course, Delete deletes the selected field. If you find it easier, many of these functions are available in the context menu when you right-click on an element in the form. For example, I can copy and paste a field like this. Right-click, Field, Copy. Here's my preview, and then right-click, Field, Paste. And there it is.